Peter Kingdom leads an unconventional life. When he's not judging the vicar's rude vegetable competition, he's keeping an eye on his sister, whose grip on reality isn't that strong.
Beatrice?
Anywhere here's fine. Have you got £20?
Beatrice is played by Hermione Norris, and the idea of Beatrice was she's the younger sister all of us could have lived without. But Peter, unfortunately, being the codependent that he is, has to live with.
Staying? Not for long. Couldn't stand it any longer, so I checked myself out.
I was doing spooks, and actually I had hair extensions and it ripped half my hair out, so using my own hair was never an option. But when I read her, I had a really strong view of what I wanted her to look like. I've met that kind of woman before, and I really saw her with a chic, dark bob.
Look at you, wrapped in your shell with your suit and your ties and your eternally irritating politeness. What is it? Protection? Or for keeping everybody out?
You tell me.
Do people take advantage of you?
I don't think so. Only you.
Yeah, but I'm family.
I empathise with her, I sympathise with her. I think she's, you know, she has that mental instability, and I think that must be a real struggle to live with. So if people don't like her, I would imagine what they don't like is when she's sort of... She would never mean anybody ill, it's just the psyche she's been given.
Why? The string keeps the documents together, so when we're looking for a file, it's all there. Why green?
Gloria, played by Celia Imrie, is Peter's long-standing assistant.
Peter, this can't go on.
Gloria is the sister Peter deserved, but never got.
I'm serious, it's Harold. Oh, yes, and we all know who he prefers.
If only the fates had dealt him a kinder card, he would have got Gloria as a sister.
May I present the new Gloria?
Oh, my lord, is that really you?
No, that's a younger sister.
The story of Gloria's makeover at the hands of Beatrice means a road trip Thelma and Louise style for the leading ladies.
Beatrice wanted to G up Gloria's character and get her out of her rather old-fashioned ideas, and this seemed rather a good way of doing it. It was fantastic to drive that car. I mean, I'd £70,000 worth of cars zooming along the street. It was fabulous.
Shooting both of them in the car at the same time requires the expertise of director of photography Dominic Clements.
The car rig was something that was specifically built for the car. Obviously, the Alvis, being very old and very precious, isn't like rigging for a normal car where we can use body mounts. The other problem with the Alvis is that it's got a very narrow windscreen, and you have to get the camera right down in order to be able to shoot into the eye line.
With two large film cameras on the bonnet, can the driver see where they're going?
The visibility for the driver is impaired somewhat, but we do have a lead car in front that keeps the road clear, and where possible we'd have a car behind as well if the cameras are shooting off the angle. Generally speaking, we'll be shooting on quiet or closed down roads, so there really is very little danger, if any, to anyone.
I wasn't driving, but yes, Hermione said she couldn't see a thing, so I had to be her navigator.
It's the end of another week's filming, and the cast and crew of Kingdom are at Wells next the sea to film 3 scenes for the final 2 episodes. Despite extensive preparation, they can't start filming because the water's edge isn't where they expected it to be.
We'd recce'd it on a day when we thought, oh yeah, the water's going to be fine here, but of course the tide comes in and washes all the sand around, and then when it's going out again it's completely different. So we walked out onto the sand, and the bit that we wanted to shoot wasn't exactly there, so the tide was rushing out, so we had to go out and out and out. So we went, it was about half a mile out on the sand. We finally got to the bit where we could shoot.
The delay has already cost the team 2 hours, but they're ready to shoot the first scene of the day, the opening of episode 5.
It sets the tone, it's about racing. Peter's well aware of who the racehorse is coming, and all these holiday makers are going to be shocked and in awe of this fantastic racehorse galloping through the sea. And it's a bit exciting. We've got dune buggies and horses, kids, sand castles. It's exciting.
Another lovely morning.
Once the main action has been filmed, it's time to shoot the extra shots which will complete the sequence.
And action! Action!
Preparation.
With one scene in the can, it's time to film the opening of episode 6 with Stephen and Hermione. And after a short rehearsal...
I'm not going in there. I am not going in there in these shoes.
They go for a take.
And action!
No, they've gone for a different puddle.
Having cut, thank you.
And again.
And action!
This time, Millie the dog is distracted.
Having cut, thank you.
The crew's problem is that time and tide wait for no man.
Well, we got a message on the radio that from locations. Oh, the tide's coming in, tide's coming in. We'll have to get all the vehicles off the beach. So
what we can't see here is that it's coming round the corner.
It is. We've got 15 minutes really to get through that gap.
So otherwise we can't get the vehicles off the beach. Body's not a problem, vehicles a problem.
I wouldn't tilt down. Okay.
That's safe, is it? You're talking to a harbour master or something? Yeah. Good. Because only a local knows.
So, with the scene not yet completed, the first assistant director, Peter Stenning, takes the decision to move all non-essential equipment from the beach, and they go for what has to be the final take.
And action! Fantastic. Brilliant! That is scene complete. We're off the beach.
The scene is in the can just in time because they're about to be cut off by the tide, but just as the crew are about to make a run for it...
Hermione.
Peter, we have wind noise on Stephen's track.
Sandy.
We would like to do another. Thank you.
Sandy, Sound would like another one, please.
This is now getting serious. There's a real risk that the whole unit could be surrounded by the tide if they don't move now. But they must get the scene completed.
And action.
Don't you want to hate him after what he did?
I'm trying hard not to.
Well, you should stop caring. Took everyone for a ride and then took the easy way out. I thought I was selfish.
Finally, the scene is completed. But there's still one more scene to film and the tide is advancing very quickly. We're back on location in Norfolk with the team making Stephen Fry's brand new drama, Kingdom.
Well, the tides in Norfolk are very fast. They're not quite as terrible as the famous ones at Morecambe Bay, but they are incredibly quick. And you have to beware, you know, at Wells and at various other places that are populated, they sound a big horn to tell you when you've got, you know, an hour for the full tide or whatever. And my goodness, you have to be alert because, you know, you turn and talk to someone and then you turn around and the sea's at your ankles.